Hey guys, so this is the new system for D&D notes I've been working on. Um, it's what I'll be using for any new campaigns, and what I would recommend people use as well. It's much easier to keep track of everything, especially with longer campaigns. This is called Microsoft's OneNote. It is a free program. There will be a link in the YouTube video description where you can download it, as well as where you can download the font I use, Bookmania, which is not mandatory, as well as the whole template that you can just download and use it. So, first thing I want to go to is just do a quick tour and show some things that I really like about it that make it really easy. So, I have this divided up here in tabs on top in the way that I think makes the most sense. So I'm going to have general notes, which will be for each session. You can see I have it session 1 and a date. And then each page here will have a different session. So session 1, 2, 3, 4. I have this templated, which we'll go over on how to change the templates in case you don't like my initial blue and everything. But the reason you template it is so that when you add a new page for a new session, uh, this stuff stays here and it stays the same. Uh, so NPCs as well, you'll be able to have different NPCs for every NPC you meet, which you can put relevant information, picture, etc. Again, same thing. This is templated on its own, so you do add page, and there you go. I didn't have the dark blue there initially, but the template does have the dark blue. Um, yep. Also, a tab for other players. Again, the other players in your party, their general information, the backstory we discover, and their picture. Quests and missions, which I realize is kind of like an online game or like an RPG kind of concept, but you are given things to do in D&D, and sometimes it's hard to keep track of what you're doing and what you haven't completed yet. So some very basic information and just any other insight. There's plenty of space if you want to pop in a map or anything. And again, that's also templated so that for everything you have to do, there it is. Uh, you will also notice a checkbox that you can check off when you're done with it, which I'll go over that a little more later. Locations and maps. This is an example page. Not very much to say here. It's a map, and you could do little pictures here and anything you want to put on the side. Encounters and loot. This is the example page again. Just very simplest things. What we fought, where, anything important that these things do. I just made something up. Any loot we get, where we fought them, if we fought them in session 1 and session 8, whatever. And any other notes you want to put about the fight that you find particularly interesting. You can see that there was one larger wolf, perhaps pack leader. Killing him seemed disoriented. I have that highlighted, and I will go over that again as well. And then my character, this is more something I do, and this is an example, or something I want to do in the future. So just general background stuff, and obviously general stats. In the middle, I put this table that I thought was useful, not just for you, but also for the DM, to know about any parents and siblings and other family members, any friends or enemies you might have in the world. That again, just kind of fills out your character a bit more, and perhaps the DM can use this. And then I'm of course not one for declaring my character to be neutral good or whatever. I don't really care for alignment. Instead, I have these 20 questions that I think really helps you understand your character better, flesh it out, and again, not just for you, but also for the DM to look at, so he better understands your character and can use your backstory. Again, this is not mandatory, but I have it here for me. If you want to use these same questions, great. A couple other advantages. So It's very easy to add pictures. So let's say you have a new fight. I know I have these blank ones, but I'll click on Add Page just to show you that that's there, and you want to add a picture. So I'm going to open up Discord. Let's say you fought this undead Minotaur. You can literally just click and drag the picture in, and the picture goes in there, and you can resize it and move it, put it wherever you want, and it's really just that easy. And then fill in the information, and you're done. It also works like a notebook and not like a Word doc, where normally with a Word doc you have to click at the end. Here you can click anywhere, and you can just start typing. You can type Strahd really loves blood oranges, and then there's a note. And let's say you want to put this note over here. You see how when you mouse over stuff, you see this gray arrow on the left? Just here, you just grab that gray arrow and you can move it in. And you can move it anywhere you want. You can indent it, you can move it in here. You can click and drag it around. I'm just going to put it at the end here with a one line indent. But then you can also grab any of these. You can grab this sentence and you can move that sentence wherever you want. You can also, on the fly, if you need to do math, it'll do math, so you don't have to open up in a second. Calculate 5 plus 9 plus 2 plus 8 plus 7. You do have to do the equal sign, and then you hit enter, and it will do the math for you. You can also do a table on the fly, so just start typing and say Monday, then you hit tab. It will make a second thing, so Tuesday, I'm not going to type it, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hit enter, it'll make a new row, and now you have a table on the fly. So very easy to do. So the first thing that you will probably want to do if you plan on using this is make it look the way you want it, because I just made it all blue for funsies, obviously, if you don't like it. But before you start, you really want to don't use the example page, use a templated page and start changing it. So say you don't like this blue color, you could just select it, right click. This is a table, so you gotta go table and shading. You could do that purple. We'll do a different color. Oops, my bad. Wow, I'm really uncoordinated. Say this green, and then you could do that. And I'm gonna undo that though, because I don't like it. And same thing for if you don't like these bars, or if you don't like these pictures. These are both backgrounds. So if you want to change this picture or get rid of it completely, right click anywhere on it where it says set picture as background, uncheck it, just click on it, and now it's selectable. You can delete it, and if you want to insert a new picture, just insert and picture, and then once the picture's there, size it up where you want it, right click on it, and go to set picture as background, so now it's not in your way. Same thing for these header bars, right click on it, set picture, you can delete it now. If you go to the header bars tab, I did put some different colors here for you. So you can just select whichever one you want. If you want the purple, copy it, put it back over here, paste, and then right click on it and set it back to background. For each tab, for notes, NPCs, other players, or whatever, you want to make sure the colors and the pictures are set the way you want it for your template. Because then after that, once you feel like you're okay with the colors for, say, general notes, you're going to want to go to Insert, Page Templates again, all the way in the bottom right hand corner where it says Save Current Page as a Template. Click on that, name the template whatever you want, it doesn't matter, but make sure this is set. It says Default Template for New Pages in this current section being the tabs. So that way, once you do that, anytime you click a add page, it will use your template if you don't like the colors. If you want to change the color of these tabs, very easy rather, just right click, section color, and you can make the section color, you want to make it green, make it green. You can make all these different color. This is just what I set it as default, but it's very easy to change. But most important is that you Find a blank one for each section, set it first, the colors you want, and then you template it so that every time you make a new one, it's the way you want it to look. I just think this is very convenient to keep track of all the NPCs individually. Also, you'll see you can link. So if you look at my examples, you see the underlying text. So finish Valaki, you can click on Valaki, and it will take you to my Valaki map. You see important NPCs. I have a page for Gadolf Blinsky. You can click on Gadolf Blinsky, and it'll take you to the Gadolf Blinsky page. That's very easy to set. You can just select any text. Rictavio will say. Right click on it and go to link. You can see all my things, and he would, if I had a page for him, would be under NPCs, and then find his page. Obviously he's not here, and then you just hit OK. I'll just link him to that blank one, and then now there's a link for him. So that will help you keep track of everything there. Also, I forgot, other than that, the appearance, for one, yours by default is probably purple and white. I highly recommend the black theme because it's easier to read. So go to File and go to Account. And right here for Office theme, I have it set to black. Also, this is set, everything here is set for a 1080 resolution. If your resolution is bigger or smaller, this might look a little off, but it's very easy to fix. Like I said, when you're setting the colors for a template, just set everything where you want it. If you don't want this here and you want it, over here, set it here before you template it, or here. Same thing with the background image. If it's a little off, as I showed you, just right click, take that off, and then move it. And then make sure you have all that set before you template. And then template it, and then it will save, and it'll work every time you hit Add Page. The other thing I want to go over is tagging. Oh, and this is just name campaign. Obviously, you can easily change it by, you should be able to right click on it, I believe. And I'm going to assume it's properties. Yeah, and then you can just change that. No big deal. The other thing I want to go over is tagging. So where is my encounter tag? So I tag this was very important. You could also tag, say, this. So let's say this is important to me for later, so you can click on it and tag. And remember for later is what it is. So these are the default tags. Important, so you can do like that's important and it'll start, or anything else. Insert tag. Critical, or these are the defaults. You'll also see the to do, which I use for the quest. You can also customize tags. You can make your own tags with your own pictures. I didn't make any. The reason this is really nice is because if you go to, I believe, Home, and you go to Find Tags, and they pop up. You see the important tag, you see the Remember for Later, which is really convenient because sometimes you need to remember stuff, and then the to-do. You can see all the to-do stuff. And say I have one of these checked. So let's say Find Sally is checked because we finished it. So now you can check that off. You could do Show Only Unchecked Tags. And then of course, out of spite, it didn't work. That's weird. Anyways, in theory, that should work, but maybe it's because I did it while it was open. I might have to close it first. I don't think the search is, I'll check it, and then we're both learning. We're all learning here. And then, okay, and then it gets rid of it. Okay, so you can't do it while it's open. You get rid of those too. But yeah, you can also change how you group the tags if you want to by section or whatever, or date. But that's very cool, especially for to see the stuff you're working on and to be able to select stuff as important or remember for later and actually look for it very easily. And you can make your own tags as you see fit. See, I talked about saving. I believe you don't have to save. It saves automatically. I showed you how to move everything. I showed the pictures and the headers. Again, and once you're done with these header bars, feel free to just right click and delete that tab. The last thing is we can share notes. And I think that's kind of the cool part. Let me delete that so you can share notes. You could just right click here and do share this notebook. Now you will have to share it to a OneDrive. I have a company OneDrive, so don't look at that, but it should pop up a thing here. Let me actually switch accounts. So, do that again. Share this notebook. Yeah, so it'll pop up like this. So you'll have to name the notebook, and this is where I said because you're sharing it, I recommend putting your name on it. So don't just name it like the guys. Name it Norlando dash the guys, Mike dash the guys, so we know whose is whose. And you would just so like Charles dash the guys, and then click on Move Notebook, and then it'll save it. It's saving, but you can't see the window. Okay. And then share, and you share by email. And you put in their email, and then you want to do it as can view. And that's really it. You don't really need to do anything else. You just click on share. Now, you probably don't want to share everything because you probably don't want us to see what notes you're keeping on us. You probably also don't want us to see your character. So very easy. You just right click on like the My Character tab and go to Password Protected section. You click on Set Password. Set with password. You can share that password with the DM so that he can view the information, but your other players cannot. And I would recommend doing the same for other players. So to give you an example, I sent this template to Eloy, and Eloy just named it the guys. So this is actually Eloy's notes. He did, and you can see that my character is kind of grayed out. He did put a password on it, so if I click on it, it just says password protected, and I cannot see his notes for that, but I would be able to see his notes for the rest. Obviously, they're the same because he hasn't changed anything from my template, but yep. So that's it. That's it. It lets us share our notes, which is very nice. You only need to share once, and after that it should sync, so it's not like you have to share after every session or anything. It'll be great for people who maybe missed a game. And again, can keep your stuff secret while also allowing the DM to see it as well. So I believe that pretty much goes over all the advantages. Again, there should be 3 downloads in the description, or one link will take you to where to download OneNote. OneNote, again, it is a free program. The Bookmania font, which is not mandatory, and then you can download this templated thing. Okay? Most likely you know where to find me, because I doubt this is going to be shared around on the internet very much. So if you have any questions or anything that you think I should add, especially any relevant information for like NPCs or players or quests that you think I'm missing, let me know so I can update that. Okay, that's it. Let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye-bye.